Let's go back, far back. Before red suits, flying reindeer, and department store Santas. Today we're tracing one of history's most surprisingly tangled stories. How a real monk from the 3rd century became the world's most recognizable holiday figure. Let's begin. Before Santa was Santa, he was Nicholas of Myra, born around 270 CE in what's now southwestern Turkey. He grew up wealthy, extremely wealthy. But after his parents died, Nicholas gave away nearly everything. In secret. He preferred anonymous generosity, which is ironic because today his face appears on everything, from mugs to inflatable lawn ornaments. Nicholas became the Bishop of Myra, known for protecting the poor, defending the innocent, helping sailors, and performing deeds that would later be interpreted as miracles. His most famous legend, the prototype of the modern gift giver, is the story of the 3 daughters. A poor man couldn't afford dowries for his girls. Without them, their futures looked grim. Nicholas heard of their situation and, under the cover of night, tossed bags of gold into their home. Some versions even say the money landed in stockings hung by the fire. Yes, that's right. The original stocking stuffer was a bishop in sandals sneaking through windows. History is wild. Nicholas became beloved across the Eastern Mediterranean, and when he died on December 6th, the day became a celebration of giving and charity, Saint Nicholas Day. But how did this quiet bishop become the global symbol of December 25th? We're getting there. In the Middle Ages, devotion to Saint Nicholas exploded across Europe. By 1500, he had over 2,000 churches named after him. Sailors worshipped him as their protector. Children saw him as their guardian. Merchants prayed to him for safe travels and fair deals. Basically, Nicholas became the medieval equivalent of a 5-star customer service provider. On December 6th, children put out shoes expecting small gifts, fruit, nuts, or sweets. This tradition spread across Germany, France, the Netherlands, and beyond. Then came the Reformation in the 1600s. Protestant regions rejected most saints' traditions, except one. People simply couldn't let go of Nicholas. In the Netherlands, he evolved into Sinterklaas, a tall, bishop-like figure who arrived by boat and delivered gifts. Sound familiar? Good, because this version was about to cross the ocean. In the 1600s, Dutch settlers brought Sinterklaas to New Amsterdam, later known as New York City. For a while, the tradition stayed quiet. But in the early 1800s, Americans rediscovered Sinterklaas. And, being Americans, they gave him an extreme, creative makeover. This is where Washington Irving comes into the picture. Author of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Irving published a satirical history in 1809 featuring a jolly, pipe-smoking Saint Nicholas flying over New York in a wagon. He wasn't recording a living tradition. He was reshaping folklore into something entirely new. People loved it. Then, in 1823, came a poem that changed everything. A Visit from Saint Nicholas, popularly known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." This poem didn't just add reindeer and a sleigh to the legend of Santa Claus. It turned Santa into something magical, a figure who could pass through chimneys and quietly visit every home in a single night. Suddenly, Saint Nicholas was no longer a solemn bishop. He was becoming Santa Claus. If Nicholas could see himself now, he'd probably say, "I gave money to help 3 girls, and now I'm delivering iPads?" By the mid-1800s, Santa Claus had become a powerful American symbol. Artists like Thomas Nast, a political cartoonist, began drawing Santa as large, round, bearded, wearing fur-trimmed clothing, living at the North Pole, overseeing toy workshops. Nast didn't just draw Santa, he built the myth, one newspaper at a time. Meanwhile, Christmas itself was changing. It became more about home and family. Gift-giving shifted from December 6th to Christmas Eve. Santa softened into a figure both religious and secular. Santa wasn't just a saint anymore, he was a cultural icon. Then, global marketing arrived. Here's a myth to bust. No, Coca-Cola did not create Santa. But they did help standardize his look. Starting in the 1930s, artist Haddon Sundblom painted Santa as warm, human, grandfatherly, definably red and white. These colors existed long before Coke, but the ads made the image unforgettable. Radio, magazines, and eventually television spread this Santa across the world. Different cultures adapted him in their own ways. UK merged with Father Christmas. Germany coexists with Weihnachtsmann and Christkind. Nordic countries absorbed traits from ancient winter spirits. East Asia and Latin America, part of modern Christmas culture. Santa had gone global, a universal symbol of generosity, celebration, and occasionally, questionable mall photography. So what does the Santa story really represent? He is a real monk, a medieval protector, a Dutch immigrant tradition, an American reinvention, and a global cultural icon. Beneath all transformations, the core remains the same: anonymous generosity, the kind of kindness Nicholas practiced 1,700 years ago. We can debate sleigh physics, chimney logistics, and whether reindeer prefer carrots or cookies, but the heart of the story survives: doing good, giving quietly, and bringing joy to others. Remember, history reminds us how we got here. And on this channel, we retell history with wits.